Hi there, this is Chris, Chap in the Cap, Motor Legends. Today I'm going to talk to you about a new glove from the Belgian brand Risha. It's a glove called the Hypercane glove. I am bored of saying, and I'm sure that some of our customers are bored of hearing me say, that Risha punches above its weight when it comes to glove. And here in the shop, even if money is no object, we don't think that there are many gloves that can be bettered. And by and large, their gloves are affordable. They're not what we call cheap, but they're certainly better value than you'll get from some of the usual big names. We're talking in particular about gloves like the Risha Squadron, the Risha Atlantic, the Risha Warm Grip and the Risha Nordic. As far as we're concerned, they are all best gloves in their particular category. And therefore there are often the gloves that we first turn to in the shop when someone comes and asks us for a summer glove or a summer waterproof glove or a winter glove or whatever. Well, the Hypercane, in other words this glove, has all the trademarks of another winner. In principle, it is what we know as a summer waterproof glove, and what that means is it's got a membrane but it has no thermal component, and that's the kind of glove that most motorcyclists are going to wear from. Most motorcyclists like me, perhaps, I don't ride in the winter, but most motorcyclists are going to wear from, say, beginning of April right through to the end of October. Although it's got to be said that on the really hottest days you'd probably go for something that's more of a pure summer glove without a membrane. Now basically the Hypercane is an upgrade on a glove that's now been discontinued. It's called, or was called, the Hurricane glove. As a glove it sits next to, in the Risha range, it sits next to the Atlantic glove. Now it's a very similar glove in some ways, it does the same job, but the Hypercane has a much longer cuff, and that's going to make it a better cuff to wear if you've got a technical jacket and you want to put the cuff of the glove underneath the sleeve of the jacket. This glove, the Atlantic, sometimes this cuff is a little bit short to do that effectively. The Hypercane will do it beautifully. The closest competitor to this as a glove is probably the fabled Rucker Virium. The construction, it has to be said, is near identical in that it's a laminated glove, a Gore-Tex laminated glove, but the Risha has features that the Rucker doesn't. The Risha glove, I've got to say, is more comfortable for various reasons, and at the time that we were recording this video, the Risha was actually 25% cheaper, representing a saving of a full £40. As with the Rucker Virium, and indeed all of the best gloves on the market, the Hypercane has not just a Gore-Tex membrane, but a Gore-Tex laminated membrane. That means a membrane that is bonded to the inner surface of the leather. It is what is known as a Gore-Grip membrane. And what it means is that however hard the rain, however fast you're riding, however long you're riding for, this is a glove that is never going to what we call wet out. It will never become sodden and soaking wet. The glove is made from a mix of goat's leather here, mainly on the palm, and various textile fabrics on the back of the glove. You've got leather on the palm, leather over the knuckle protectors, and leather down the fingers. You've got four-way stretch here down between the fingers. That contributes very much to making these a very comfortable glove to wear. You've got a textile cuff. You've got stretch components. You've got these concertina panels. You've got an elasticated band here around the wrist, and all of those contribute to making the glove particularly nice to wear. Now, motorcyclists sometimes prefer hard knuckles, but in fact hard knuckles only serve a purpose when you're on track, because a hard knuckle will give you a certain amount of abrasion resistance. On the road, abrasion resistance on the knuckle of a glove is nowhere near as important as impact resistance. Now, the Hypercane has D3O knuckle protector, and our view is that if D3O is good enough for your elbows, it's good enough for your shoulders, it's good enough for your knees, if it's good enough for your hips, if it's good enough for your back, then it's good enough for your knuckles. So in our view, the best gloves these days will have a soft knuckle protector, something like a D3O. You've also got these D3O pads on the palm, because whenever you come off the bike, if you have a second to think about it, in fact, even if you don't have a second to think about it, instinctively we put our hands out, so you want something that's going to absorb some energy as you hit the deck. You've got this panel here of what's called digi-leather across the palm, and that just enables you to get better purchase on the controls. You get two adjusters at the wrist, one here at the wrist itself and one here at the cuff, that just allows the cuff to be tightened up so it's going to go easily inside the sleeve of a jacket, as we've already mentioned before. Now here on the left hand, you get a visor wipe, and that's a good thing. Everybody wants a visor wipe. Why wouldn't you want to have it? But the other thing that everyone wants on a glove that this glove does not have is a touchscreen sensitive finger or a touchscreen sensitive fingers. And in our view, that is pretty poor these days. Now, we reckon, no one has told us this, but we reckon that Risha are having some difficulties sorting this facility out because we've had some gloves, some of their other gloves that are meant to be touchscreen sensitive, and they've come through not being touchscreen sensitive. So really, Risha, this is something that you need to sort out if you're paying this kind of money, even though it's less than rucker money. But if you want this kind of glove, this kind of quality of glove, then you are going to expect to be able to use your sat nav or your phone with your fingers whilst wearing the gloves. This detail aside, we think that the Hypercane is truly an impressive glove. It's technically and from a protection standpoint a match for pretty much the most expensive glove out there. We think it's a fantastic glove. If you'd like to see more gloves or more Risha gloves perhaps, then visit the website motorlegends.com. If you want to learn more specifically about the Hypercane, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes down there, then you can go and check out the spec in a little bit more detail. You can check availability, obviously, and if you want to buy a pair, you can do that there and then. Now, when you buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on any item of protective wear that you buy. Returns are totally free, and what's more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. We have the best price promise in the business. Now, John Lewis was rightly famed for its never knowingly undersold price promise. We go one stage better. If you can find anybody selling anything that we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat that competitor's price by a full 10%. Now, there are a few terms and conditions associated with what we call our price beat. Nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to price beat us, then I suggest you go over to the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. If in the future you'd like to receive bulletins from us about new product launches, then if you go to the website, at the top of every page there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there and within seconds you'll be in business. In future you'll receive our email bulletins. If however you prefer to get your information videographically, that is to say in this form, we'd be simply delighted if you wanted to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Finally, I'd like to make a play for our fabulous little shop here. We are based about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. And as I've said, the shop is small, it's got a small footprint, but it's attached to our warehouse where we have about £3 million worth of merchandise arranged over 3 floors. And technically that makes us the second largest motorcycle apparel store in the UK. But we think that we are far more than just the quantity of merchandise we have here in the building. We're all about service, we're all about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. And when you come and see us, we'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee, or we'll serve you proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. And who knows, if you're lucky, you might even get to sample one of Sean's delicious motorcycle-shaped biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.